What is up, everyone? My name is Adam with the Lavin Real Estate Group and Next Home Synergy. And I'm just doing a quick update for the real estate market as we move into the second quarter of 2022. And I think it's really important to kind of get some information out there and at least my take on what's going on in the area in Delaware and Chester counties. Because there's been a lot of different information out of there, as well as skyrocketing, if you would like to call it that, interest rates versus what they were around this time last year. So here's the deal. Like recently, you've had a whole bunch of different varying opinions. So you have Fortune magazine posting that inventory is at an all-time record low, which is true. And then you have the reverse of that being reported by Forbes magazine and other outlets saying that, we're going to crash and the market's going to dry up, you're going to see prices drop, so on and so forth. And really all this is the media latching on to movements in the real estate market and just trying to get press out of it, right? So with my experience as to what's going on and where I think we're going to go, right now the biggest thing and the biggest news that's out there is mortgage rates. Mortgage rates are up higher than we had originally anticipated. Now there's a whole lot of things affecting that, but what you need to realize is that the mortgage industry in general is part of the banking industry, and it's not just local thing, it's not just a United States thing, it's a global market that affects all of this. Have they risen higher than we have anticipated? To a point, but we knew that they were going to go up. If you look back to my 2022 predictions, we said, mortgage rates are going to continue to climb. Again, going back to that prediction, I don't think we're ever going to get back to the 7, 8, 9, 10%. But right now we are hovering around 5%. Now you're going to see that fluctuate depending on how many mortgages are written and what's going on in the national as well as global economy. But for now, we are up slightly over 5%, depending on how much you're going to put down, depending on what type of loan you get, and depending on your actual credit score. All those things are going to go into it and affect it, but that is going up. Now, what that does do, and what we predicted that it's going to cause, it's not going to cause a crash, but it is going to cause prices to level out slightly because it's drying up some of the buyers' buying power. And what was happening was, the buyers had a whole lot of power because the interest rates were so low, which then in turn turned everything into a seller's market because we were just able to increase offer prices over what the list price was, up and up and up and up and up. And what we're going to see is that is going to level out. It had to level out at some point. This is just going to kind of cause that to happen at a quicker rate. Now, on the reverse end, there are still a whole lot of buyers out there with not a lot of inventory. So it is still going to remain a seller's market as we move into the spring and summer months. We don't anticipate, the reverse of what's been going on by any means in terms of inventory. In terms of offers over asking price, you might see, that kind of shrink up a little bit. And you'll see a lot of offers go through a little bit closer to the asking price. But then in reverse, what you're probably going to see as well are sellers and their agents dropping the list price from where they think it's actually going to end up selling, simply to create the multiple offer situation that has been occurring and drive as many buyers to it as possible. So it is really important that you're working with a knowledgeable agent that's active in the area and understands how the home is being priced in terms of a marketing aspect versus how it's actually should be priced and where it's actually going to be sold and what it might appraise at. So those are kind of the two big things. Now, the other thing that's going to drive all this is seasonality. We've been in the winter months as all this has been going on. Historically, year over year over year, the winter is not the greatest time to buy or sell a home. It's cold, the holidays are going on, kids are in the middle of school, People are getting sick and, so on and so forth. So it's not the greatest time to go out looking for a house. It's not the greatest time where people want to, get their house ready to sell. That being said, as we move, particularly with families, into the spring and summer months, that's when people start thinking about, hey, I want to get my house on the market. We want to get everything settled, either, around when school ends or before the next school year starts. So while you aren't going to see the inventory increase per se, what you are going to see is a larger number of sales, which did happen the previous 2 years. While the inventory technically stays low because houses go on the market and then sell so rapidly, the number of houses that are going on the market is going to rise substantially from where it's at right now. So what you will probably see is the media kind of touting out there that, hey, inventory's low and there's no houses to be found. That's not going to be necessarily true. So if you're a buyer, really now is the best time to get pre-approved, understand where you're at, lock in interest rates if you can, and start looking out there and really getting into the market, and getting in before interest rates go up even more. And on the reverse end, if you are a seller, really now is kind of the best time in terms of attracting the most buyers with the most buying power, because what's going to happen is as interest rates do continue to rise slightly or stay where they're at, we don't anticipate them dropping at all. The buyer's buying power has reduced over where it was this time last year and last summer. That being said, it's still a great time to buy and sell if you need to. So if you have any questions about any of this, or you've seen an article or heard something and you're curious as to whether it's true or not, I'd love to get a chance to talk to you and at least hash that out with you. And if you are ready or thinking about buying or selling, I'd love to be able to walk you through the next part of the process and let you know kind of where you're going to stand in this market. Feel free to call me. My number is 610-442-9371. You can text me as well or email me at the email address below. And thank you so much for your time today. I hope you have a great day.